Hello, good evening, everyone. Trust you are good. How's the day today? Good evening, everyone. Welcome to class. So, in this session, we'll be going through AWS IAM Enumeration. Um, we're going to perform enumeration for user, groups, and roles tonight. And also, we'll look into Pacu, how to automate the enumeration. So, starting, we first configure our AWS environment, typing AWS configure, then we create a profile, call it CLI. So we paste our access key, then how to copy our secret access key. I've already configured this. If you haven't configured this, you have to type it US is 1 if it is blank. And this one, the output is already in JSON format. If you've not configured this before, you have to type it as just type in JSON. But because it's there already, I do not need to type it out again. So you have it configured. Now to check that, you can go to AWS STH, get caller identity. Yeah, what's the profile that is performing this action? Check it out. That's it. So it's working fine now. All right, now we want to enumerate the users in this account, in this AWS account. So what to do is type AWS list users. Yeah, what to do AWS list users profile. Apologies, forgot to include AWS IAM list users and the profile column list. So this will list all the users in this account. And also, as we will be getting the information, we will be taking a quality note. So there will be a quality note taken. So let me gather the information to copy from Linux. It's Ctrl Shift plus C. Do not forget that. So let me paste my file names here. Share it here. So these are my file names here. I'm sorry about that, please. All right. So we've enumerated the users here. Now, and I want to get information about this particular user. Draw. I want to get information about this particular user. What I will do is to copy this username. Then here I can type AWS IAM get user dash user dash name. Paste the username here. And then the profile, initiating this. Press enter. So this will get information about the user. Now this will give us information about the user. This is the user, this is the username, user ID, date created, this is the date created, key, analyze. So let's copy this information to as well. So let's try to copy this information to as well. Now this user. Stop that. Now let's list. Let's get the group this user belongs to. So we do AWS IAM get list group use for user. I will type the username, so that's no, and copy that here. This is username. Copy it anywhere. So copy the username, paste it here. Username draw, and the profile, initiate on this action. So this will list the group that this user belongs to. So this will list the group this user belongs to. So now let's actually try to list policy for this user. So we'll copy this information. Yes. So you can see that this user belongs to developer groups. So this is the group this user belongs to. So I already prepared, I already have an IAM enumeration cheat sheet here. You can see this the type user policy. So we can get user policy, we can get user policy. So let's try to list the attached user policy. That's what I was trying to get our AWS IAM list attached user policy. See user dash name. We'll copy the username. So I can just see that. Paste it here. Now profile column this. So this did not give us an output. Guess we're not permitted to do that. There's no attached policies. So we can actually list the policies attached to this user. List user policies, username, column this. So we can see this is the policy that this user that is attached to this that is attached to this user. So there is an online policy. So we copy this, we paste this here. So we can further enumerate this policy by finding out what it is. So here we can do AWS IAM get user policy. Then where we're going to type the policy name, copy that, paste it here, and the user's name. So copy the as well. We have user name, then our profile. So we are going to get what is the permissions that are attached to this policy. You can see the user is eligible to perform to get role policy, this rules policy on how many resources you can see here on all resources in the AWS account. You can get role attached to any resource in AWS account, get role policy in any resource, this rules policy. So that's the policy attached to this user. So we're going to copy that, paste it as well. So we paste that as well. Let me clear my screen. So now we've gotten that. Now we want to enumerate groups. Actually, we just use the user draw as an example. We have other users that you can enumerate here. Remember, we gathered information from different users: Chris, Joe, Mary, Mike, and the likes. So we can actually do for the rest too as well. Now we want to enumerate groups. We want to enumerate groups. So right here we can do AWS IAM list groups. So this will list the groups in all groups in this AWS account. That's what this command will perform. It will list all groups in this AWS account. So we can list the groups. You can see there are two groups in this AWS account. There are two groups. And gather that information to us well. There are two groups. So now we can further enumerate each group. Use the group name. We're going to need that. We're going to need this. So right here, what you can do is that you can do AWS IAM get group. So let's get this group, group name. Let's call it this. This should give us insight into who are the users attached to this group. You can see we are getting information about this group itself. You can see these are the users. You can see from the users. These are the users in this group, and this is the group name itself. So we have two users in this group. So we are just using this one as a case study. We can as well try to enumerate for the other group too as well. So we've gotten that for this group. Let's try to gather this information, copy it. All right, that being done, let me clear my screen. What's this? All right, now I want to list the policies that are attached to this group. So what we're going to do is type AWS IAM list group policies. So we're going to type the group name. What's the name of the group? We're going to paste it there. So I think I can copy the name of the group from here. So paste it here. Who's calling this? So we are trying to list the policies that are attached to this group. We are trying to list the policies that are attached to this group. You can see we have a policy here. That's dev's policy. That's dev's policy. Now for that, we are going to look into what permissions are included in this policy. What are the things the users um, the users in this group with this policy with the policy attached, what are the things they can do, the access they have. So let's try to look into that. So right now, what you are going to do is that we are going to get this group policy. So we're going to do AWS IAM get group policy. No, it's not policies because we're trying to get one policy. What's the group name? We need to add a group name. Now, what's the policy name? So I should have added a group name. So let me add a group name. Oh my goodness, apologies. That was an error. Why which okay, let me just um, adjust this last command. Let's see. So we already have the group name here. So what you are going to add next is the policy name. So we add the policy dash name. Policy hyphen name dash name. So we're going to copy the name of the policy here. From here, copy that. Then we're going to place that here. Press enter. So this will get details about the policy. This will get details about the policy. Now we can see it here. So with the policy attached, you can see how many resources, draw, write, action, list access keys, and see here, and effects allow. These users are permitted to list group policy, list attached policies, list policy versions, list user policies. These are the privileges on how many resources on all. Now this action, list access key, that is a list access key for draw and mic. You can list access key. And now this another effect. Action effect is allow action. This one they can perform. This one they can perform. So you can see the action here, and the effect here is allow on how many resources, on all resources, on all resources in AWS, in that AWS account. So you're going to copy this. Sorry about that, please. This kind of please. So let's get all this information. Oh my goodness. Let me try to rerun the command, please. But just like to break our terminal. Sure. Apologies about this, please. No, I'm trying to scroll to copy that. Oh my goodness. I can't perform any copying and pasting here. Please bear with me. I think that's the issues with the virtual box I'm using here. And to try to fix that, I might have to stop the virtual machine. I don't know. So please, this is just for practice. You see that every information will be gathering, will be copying them, pasting them, which is very important. So please, let's do that to us. Well, let me try to close my terminal, reopen it back. Let's see if it will work. Let me see the app. Check for me. It is seriously a virtual box is angry right now. It is seriously angry. Let me try to restart my machine, please. I apologize for this. Please just bear with me for a second while my machine boots on. Uh, Let me go to my machine. Let's see if the last configuration is still active. Let's check that out. Uh, let's check it out. It's still working. Wow, that's great. So right here now, I'm going to copy this. So copy this. Yeah. So paste it here. So now we've gotten what this policy is all about. What this policy contains, analyze. So that's how to enumerate for both user and group. You can see I have yeah, this for groups now. You can see this for groups. We've listed the groups, listed groups for user, we've gotten the group, we've listed the group policy, we've gotten the group policy, and now we are next, we are moving into roles. So we are moving into roles now. So we are going to list rows, get rows policy as well. So let's get into that. Let me clear my screen. So now let's list the rows in this AWS account. Go to AWS IAM list rows. Okay, five column this. So we are going to list all the rows in this AWS account. You see the rows here are many. They they are really many. These are the rows. These are the rows. They are many. They are many. I'm going to channel now. Right? I'm very much interested in this support row. All right, let's try to copy our speech information. All right, let's copy that. Ah, okay. Channel now. Also, let me see that. So let's put this in our file. So we've listed the rows in this AWS account. Now let's list this particular row called support row. Let's enumerate further. Let's list the policies that are attached to this support row. So let's come to our terminal here. We're going to list the policies attached to this support row AWS IAM list row policies. So now we do dash. What's the row name? What's the row name? Sorry. What's the row name? I'm going to paste that support row. Then profile, call it this. Yeah. Oh my goodness. There's a mistake there. Slash. So you can see the row that is attached to this support row is AWS S3 um, full full and allow S3 full access row. Now we can even get information about this support row. We can do AWS IAM. Let's get this row. Get row. What's the row name? Row name. Let's start there. Profile. You can see this is row name support row. Date it was created. Version. You can see the effect here. Description, assumable role for internal support. This is a very good information to get even as a penetration tester trying to test the security in the cloud. So we are able to get further information about this role. That's how to gather further information about the role. So let's copy the informations our results here. Let's copy our results here. Copy our result here. So we should paste our findings here. So now that we've listed the role policy, which is S3, now we are now going to get this policy itself. That is, what are the actions that the user is allowed to perform with this policy attached? What are the privileges? What are the assets? So let's copy this and clear my screen. to the AWS IAM get role policy. Now we are talking about the role policy. Now we're getting role policy. This should be policy name, policy dash name, because that's what we have copied now. And the role name, uh, I think that should be support role, if I'm not mistaken. User profile. So you can see now we are able to get the permissions. What this role we can see role name, support role, policy name, allow S3 full access role. You can see action S3 or S3, that is both create bucket, list bucket, upload everything on what resources, on all the resources. The effect here is allow. The effect here is allow. So this anybody with this assume role, this is an assumable role. Anybody that this role is attached to, with the policy attached to the role, the person can do virtually anything within the S3 bucket. Can create bucket, can delete bucket, can edit bucket configuration, can create files in bucket, create folder, do anything in the bucket. And this is even against the principle of least privilege. This user can, in fact, there can be human error here. This user might not have the intention of deleting a pocket, but because the effect is allowed and is on all the resources, this user can mistakenly delete important bucket or delete important file, important configuration. So this even goes against the principle of this privilege. And also, if an attacker should gain hand into this privilege, can further escalate this privilege and can even use this to extract sensitive information from the S3 bucket. You know, S3 bucket work will store information such as PII, personally identifiable information, users information. So attackers can exfiltrate data from this S3 bucket. And so um, you can see that here the principle of least privilege ought to be applied. The principle of least privilege ought to be applied. So virtually right here we explain everything that you need to know in AWS IAM enumeration. So we've enumerated for both user, groups, and policy. We're doing for users, group, and policy. Case of group. So you can see here we've got those listed ones. So these are manual, manual information gathering. Now there is an automated tool that can make our life easier, all of our actions to be easier. And the name of the tool is Pacu. Pacu will automate all these manual things we are trying to do. So yeah, okay. Session server. Let me click on server. No key set. So let me import key. You can see we type import keys, import underscore keys, then the profile name that is cyber CYBR. So let's do that. Import. So this will import the key from AWS CLI configured environment. You know when we did AWS configured there. So this will import the key from there. Then what's the name of the profile? Should be import keys. Imported keys. You can see imported cyber. So now one thing we can perform with in what's it called in Pacu, you can see here who am I is we display the information um information about the user that is performing this action, just like we did AWS STS get caller identity the other time. So though we might not get much output here, so if I clear my screen here. All right, if I clear my screen. So let's do what's it called? That's who am I? You can see we already have insight into the access key, whichever the access key, the username, and everything has not got, we have not gotten that yet. So there's a way to do that. We'll still get there. Now if you type F, this will list all the things we can do here to get information about the user. So now let's perform some action here. And one cool features about Pacu is that you can search for command. Now let's try to do search IAM Enumeration. Sorry. So you can see these are the things, these are the actions we can perform. This can enumerate roles, enumerate users. This can enumerate roles, enumerate users. This backdoor Mazunu, we are not touching this now. You can brute force permission, enumerate permissions. Now this we are going to try out. IAM enumerate users, roles, policies, and groups. So this will enumerate everything, both users, roles, policies, and groups. What we were doing manually before that took us that about 30 minutes plus. So let's say that there, and we can get further information about particular command. We can see by typing F. Now, after copying that command F, that is what this command will do. Usage pathway. If you want to list just user, we apply the option dash dash user. If you want to list just rows, we apply the option dash dash rows or policy. But we want to enumerate for all. And to do that, we are going to type run and paste the command here. So this will enumerate everything for all the users. The users, rules, policies, everything. You can see we have this our result. We have four users enumerated, 11 rows enumerated, 0 policies enumerated, 2 groups enumerated. Remember, we have 2 groups, really. So now let's do data to get our information. Once you type data like that, you can see everything we have been performing manually. They are all here. They are all here. From here, you can see you type data created. You can see everything here. Excuse me, please. Increase my. All right. So you can see enumerated user, Chris, Joe, Mary, Mike. Now enumerated rows. You can see all the rows here. It has enumerated everything here. As you can see, these are the things we were typing command series of AWS CLI command. Just one run or one command granted us access to everything we have here. You can see here. So this is the support row with enumerated area. You can see everything is just in one spot. So we've enumerated for both groups, users, both groups and users, and rows as well. So you can see everything here. So this Pacu automated everything. This Pacu automated everything and made our life easier. It made our work very easier and faster and efficient. You can see this for groups. You can see we have developer groups, infrastructure groups. So this enumerated the users, the groups, the developers. All right. So that's that. So let's check history. Oh, sorry, let me type mine. I didn't copy out that information because I didn't copy out that information because we've already gathered the information. I'm just showing us the automated way to get that done. All right. So that's how to use Pacu to enumerate all our users, groups, and rows. So that will be all for this class. In order not to make this session a long one. So I'll be ending this lab here, and I'm looking forward to meeting us in the next class. Thank you everyone for joining this class. Thank you. Thank you all. So see you in the next class. Bye for now. So I'll make this cheat sheet available. I'll make it available. All right. Thank you everyone.